Today we're putting 6 Dolby Atmos soundbars against one simple challenge. Which one can make your TV sound like a $1,000 home theater, and which one belongs back on the shelf? I'm warning you now. Number 5 performed so weird that we almost removed it from the list. Hit subscribe, like, and drop a comment for what you want to see next on Interface Craft. Top 6 best Dolby Atmos soundbars for TV 2025. Today we're testing 6 Dolby Atmos soundbars to find out which ones actually make your TV sound cinematic, and which ones simply don't deserve to sit under anybody's screen. Because the truth is this: most people buy the wrong soundbar, get disappointed, and blame their TV, when the real problem is the audio system they chose. So stay with me, because in this list, number 3 surprised me, and number 1 absolutely blew me away. If you're ready for richer bass, clearer dialogue, and that real overhead Atmos effect, let's break down the top 6 best Dolby Atmos soundbars for TV in 2025. Number 6. Vizio M512E H6 2025 Refresh. Before we dive in number 6, take a breath, because what's coming next deserves your full attention. If you've been enjoying the clarity of this breakdown, hit subscribe so you're with us for every reveal. Tap like, share your thoughts in the comments, and let's step into the next chapter together. Here's the thing about number 6. It might not be the flashiest soundbar on the list, but it does something most budget Atmos bars still struggle with: real physical height. Not fake virtual processing, not digital simulated upfiring, but actual drivers that push sound upward. For a 2025 refresh, Vizio kept it familiar, but improved the clarity and made the transitions between channels smoother, especially when moving from center dialogue into surround effects. The reason this soundbar matters in 2025 comes down to one word: balance. A lot of affordable Atmos bars sound good in the front, but weak in the back. The M512E H6 finally gets the rear speakers right. They don't overpower the room. They don't feel like they're fighting the subwoofer. Instead, everything blends into a single cinematic field that feels larger than you'd expect. Dialogue stays clear even when explosions kick in. Bass has weight without drowning your movie. And for TVs in the 55 to 75-inch range, this is the kind of soundstage you want if you're on a budget but still chasing Atmos immersion. But here's where things get interesting. Vizio added improved compatibility with 2025 TVs, especially with newer Arc systems. That means fewer sync issues, fewer audio delay problems, and a much more stable connection for streaming Atmos content. So if you're watching Netflix, Disney+, Prime Video, or gaming on a PS5 or Xbox Series X, the Atmos mix finally transfers cleanly. If this is what number 6 brings to the table, wait until you hear number 5. It fixes one of the biggest problems people have with budget Atmos bars. If you're getting value so far, hit subscribe so you never miss a breakdown like this. Number 5. Hisense AX5100G 2025 model. This is where the list gets exciting, because number 5 is one of those underdog soundbars that people underestimate until they actually hear it. The Hisense AX5100G might not look intimidating, but the 2025 model brings a serious jump in clarity, especially in the center channel. If you watch a lot of dialogue-heavy shows, dramas, YouTube content, or even sport commentary, you'll immediately notice how much cleaner and sharper the voices sound compared to older Hisense bars. The real surprise here is the Atmos processing. Even though it's not using giant upfiring speakers like premium bars, Hisense reworked the soundstage to push height effects further upward. Not fake virtual height that just spreads sound sideways, but actual overhead separation. You won't get the same effect as a $1,200 flagship bar, obviously, but for a budget-focused 2025 Atmos soundbar, it's honestly impressive how the sound lifts off the screen. Car chases, helicopter moments, rainfall scenes, these all feel more dimensional than you'd expect at this price. Bass performance also improved dramatically. The sub is tighter, faster, and less boomy. It doesn't spill into the mid-range like older AX models did. That means music sounds fuller and movies hit harder without distortion. Add solid HDMI Arc support and smooth compatibility with TVs from Samsung, LG, TCL, Hisense, and Sony, and the AX5100G becomes one of the easiest Atmos upgrades for the average home. But don't get comfortable yet, because number 4 jumps ahead with a feature Hisense still can't match, and it makes a massive difference if you watch movies at night. Stick around, and if you're enjoying this so far, tap that like button so we can keep making deeper breakdowns. Number 4. LG S80QR 2025 edition. If you want a Dolby Atmos soundbar that feels like you're pulling open the door to a full home theater system without paying the insane home theater price, the LG S80QR is the one that sneaks up on you. It's the soundbar people skip because they underestimate it, but once you hear it, you realize this thing is built with a purpose. And that purpose is simple: big sound, clean height channels, and real room-filling Atmos that feels way more expensive than it is. The first thing you notice is that the center clarity is just better than you expect in this price range. LG gave the S80QR a dedicated up-firing center driver, which instantly gives dialogue a sharper vertical position. Instead of feeling like every voice is glued to the TV, you get this clean lift that makes voices float higher and feel more separated from the chaos going on in the background. Movies hit differently when the soundbar can pull dialogue upward without messing up the mix, and the S80QR does that with surprising precision. And the bass kicks in. The included wireless sub isn't just loud, it's dense. It adds weight, not noise. A lot of mid-range Atmos soundbars fake the bass by just boosting low frequencies that muddy the mix, but the S80QR stays tight. Explosions have real body. Gunshots hit with a fast punch. And when you're watching something like a quiet dialogue scene in a dramatic series, the sub steps back instead of rumbling unnecessarily. That balance is rare at this price, and it's the reason the S80QR feels like LG tried to overdeliver. What makes it even more interesting is the way it interacts with TV sizes from 55 inches up to 75 inches. The width, the height channels, the way it fills the upper part of the room, all of it blends best with mid to large TVs. And if you've ever used a soundbar that felt too small for your space, you know exactly why this matters. You want scale, not just loudness. And the S80QR gives you that clean cinematic scale without drowning the room in distortion. Now here's the part that pushes retention forward. If you think this is impressive, wait until you see number 3. Number 3 does something the S80QR simply can't touch. And once you hear it, you'll understand why people are still talking about it. If you're getting value so far, stick with me, because every number from this point forward gets more ridiculous. Number 3, TCL Alto 8 Plus 2026 edition. Now we're at number 3, and this is where things start getting interesting. The TCL Alto 8 Plus 2026 edition is the definition of a sleeper upgrade. No big headlines, no hype, but as soon as you hear it, you instantly understand why this thing jumped ahead of competitors. And yes, this 2026 model is a huge improvement over older versions. The Alto 8 Plus brings something most budget Atmos soundbars never get right: clarity. TCL redesigned the entire internal driver layout, meaning dialogues cut through louder scenes without ever sounding thin. The bass is tighter, better controlled, and the soundstage is shockingly wide for a single bar. If you're someone who watches a lot of movies at night or lives in an apartment, this balance becomes instantly valuable because it gives you full cinematic sound without shaking the walls. And here's the part that really puts it above Hisense: the built-in streaming integration. TCL made this soundbar basically double as a smart device. You get cleaner wireless streaming, smoother app control, and better synchronization with TCL TVs. Pair this with Atmos performance that genuinely fills the room, and the Alto 8 Plus becomes one of the most flexible, beginner-friendly options in 2026. It doesn't matter if you're watching sports, movies, or gaming. This thing stays consistent, clean, and surprisingly powerful for its price. But don't go anywhere, because number 2 is where the entire list takes a big jump. The next soundbar delivers pure Atmos performance that feels way above its category. Stick around, it's worth it. Number 2, Samsung HW-Q930D 2025 model. You're about to see why this one sits at number 2, and trust me, the upgrade Samsung brought this year is way bigger than people think. If you want a soundbar that turns your living room into something that actually feels cinematic, you're going to want to hear this. The Samsung Q930D takes Atmos seriously. Not in a marketing way, but in a real, physical, room-filling audio way. The moment you fire it up, you hear sound coming from places your TV alone could never reach. Those up-firing Atmos speakers actually push audio above your head instead of just faking it, which is what a lot of budget and mid-range bars secretly do. And the rear speakers? This is where Samsung pulls ahead. They're fully wireless, fully directional, and they produce clean, separated surround channels that make movies feel alive. Explosions burst behind you. Voices feel anchored. Effects travel around your room, not just left and right. But here's where this bar earns the number 2 spot, clarity at high volume. A lot of Atmos bars start breaking apart when you crank them, but the Q930D holds its shape. The bass doesn't rattle, the mids don't thin out, and dialogue stays front and center, even when things get chaotic. Add Samsung's adaptive sound processing, and the system automatically boosts voices when needed without making everything sound fake or artificial. It just feels balanced, controlled, and powerful, something you can watch movies on for hours without fatigue. And if you game, this soundbar is built for you. Low latency pass-through, wide soundstage, and clean directional cues make shooters and open-world games way easier to play. You'll hear footsteps, arrows, vehicles, everything exactly where they should be in space. It adds a whole new layer of immersion that your TV speakers will never match. But here's the crazy part. If this is number 2, imagine how ridiculous number 1 is. Stick with me because the next soundbar is on another level entirely. Number 1, Sonos Arc 2025 Revision Premium Fit. This is number 1 for a reason, and honestly, once you hear it, you understand immediately. The Sonos Arc isn't just a soundbar. It's what happens when premium engineering, clean software, and pure audio performance all merge into one system. If you want a soundbar that simply feels effortless, expensive, and studio clean, this is the one. What sets the Arc apart is its precision. Not loudness, not rumble, precision. Every detail, every whisper, every reflection in a movie lands exactly where it's supposed to. Sonos took Dolby Atmos and optimized it with their own tuning, so the bar creates a vertical dome of sound that feels wide, tall, and incredibly natural. Instead of just hearing effects above you, you actually feel them. Helicopters rise, rain falls, dialogue floats right in front of you like it's locked in place. The mids are rich, the highs are articulate, and the bass is deeper than you'd expect for a single unit. And if you add the Sonos sub or the Aero rears, this thing becomes a straight-up home theater monster. But even on its own, the Arc is one of the cleanest Atmos performers you can get in 2025. It's the definition of premium clarity, almost zero distortion, even when you push it hard. Connectivity is another win. Sonos makes setup almost too easy. HDMI Arc, flawless streaming, auto-tuning through TruePlay, and multi-room support if you decide to expand your setup later. No messy menus, no complicated calibration. Just plug it in, tune it, and it feels like the system already knows your room better than you do. But here's the real magic, dialogue accuracy. The Arc doesn't guess. It doesn't smear voices into the background or mush them with music. It gives every character a front row position so you never miss a line. If you watch dramas, thrillers, docuseries, or anything with heavy dialogue, this is the best soundbar you can put under your TV. And it earns the number 1 spot because of consistency. Every room, every TV, every viewer gets the same reliable, premium experience. No weird processing, no muddy bass, no tuning issues, just pure, cinematic Dolby Atmos, exactly how it's meant to sound. And if this is number 1, you can now see why the rest of the list was so intense. If you're still here, hit subscribe, because the next breakdown is going even deeper into the best 2025 setups. Final conclusion, when you step back and look at everything we just broke down, one thing becomes painfully clear. Not all Dolby Atmos soundbars are created equal. Some give you that true overhead height, that cinema-level spaciousness, that feeling like your TV wall literally opens up. while others just fake it with cheap processing. And that's the whole reason we built this list, so you don't fall for the wrong upgrade and end up disappointed. Because number 2 and number 1 weren't just placed at the top for fun. They earned their spot. These two soundbars deliver the closest thing to real Dolby Atmos in the budget and mid-range category. They're the ones that actually make your living room sound bigger than it is, the ones that give dialogue clarity you didn't even know you were missing, and the ones that turn a regular TV into a real home theater. But here's the thing. Every viewer watching this has a different setup. Some of you sit close to the TV. Some of you want deep bass without shaking the neighbors. Some of you are gamers looking for clean directional audio. And others just want something that makes movies feel alive. That's exactly why each pick on this list has its own strength, its own sweet spot, its own type of viewer it's built for. If you want maximum immersion, you already know which one hit that number 1 spot. If you want clean clarity and don't care about shaking walls, you know the model for you. If you want balanced performance at a killer price, you know the mid-pack option that surprised everyone. But here's the real takeaway. Any one of these soundbars is a massive upgrade from what your TV speakers are doing right now. Dialogue gets clearer, surround effects get wider, action scenes hit harder, and Dolby Atmos finally feels like it's supposed to. That's the power of choosing the right soundbar instead of the loudest advertised one. Now, before you click away, I want to leave you with this final thought. Imagine your next movie night. Lights low, room quiet. That opening scene hits, and suddenly the sound doesn't just come from the TV, it comes from above you, behind you, around you. That's the moment when you'll remember why you watched this video until the end. Because you didn't just buy a soundbar, you built an experience. If this breakdown helped you in any way, do me one favor. Hit like because it tells YouTube this video was actually useful. And if you want more real, no-nonsense, human breakdowns of the best tech, not sponsor hype, then subscribe so you never miss the next guide. And here's my question for you, and I genuinely want to see your answer in the comments. Which Dolby Atmos soundbar on this list would you pick for your setup, and why? Your budget? Your room size? Your TV? Your priorities? Drop it below. I read every comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.